Aloha and welcome to Obsidian Mountain Raceway, home of GryphonSoul Diecast Motorsports and the Euro-Mania Series. This is round one of the Euro-Mania Series. 24 European manufactured cars and 24 drivers are about to take on the Obsidian Mountain Raceway in 6 rounds of competition to accumulate the most points, and one will be crowned the first Euro-Mania Champion. Let's go over these rules. You skip over those first few lines in the top part. I forgot to edit that out. The 24 drivers are randomly paired with their cars, and they will drive in this event in 6 divided groups, or groups divided into 6. Drivers will rotate randomly into new groups following each round. Starting pole position for the round one was set according to their pre-race qualifying times, and the lanes will rotate for each heat to give the drivers a pole position start. Points leaders from each round from the 6 groups will have pole positions in the next round in their groupings, and there's your scoring: 10 for first, 8 for second, third 6, fourth 4, and 0 for that big goose egg. Well, here we go into the action. Group 1, we're underway. We got the Alpine taking the lead, and everybody getting a little silly down the pipeline that first time around. The Alpine comes in first, McLaren Speedtail in second, and we had the McLaren GTR in third. And here we go with the Speedtail taking the pole position down. Oh, almost went off the road there. We got cars going backwards, getting silly, and the Speedtail throwing a block there right at the finish. That was a close finish for second and third. Let's see how that turns out. In the meantime, we got one car down. The McLaren GTR failed to finish. We got that Speedtail taken first on that lap. And the Bugatti's up in the pole position this time and takes a good lead down the pipeline through Calamity Corner. Everybody makes it through safely that time. And that's just how they're going to finish. With the Bugatti, then the Speedtail, that Alpine, and the McLaren GTR. And now the McLaren GTR had the pole position, but the Bugatti says no way and even spins around, taunting them, drives all the way down the valley, driving across the finish line backwards. It's pretty ballsy, taking on the Obsidian Mountain like that. Okay, we're moving into Group 2. And we got the Kenny car. That's the Gamera. I'll mess up that pronunciation, so I'll just call it the Kenny car. And it takes first. And it looked like the BMW came in second, yes, and the Scion, and then the Huracan. Here we go, they rotated positions. Kenny's out front, going through Calamity Corner. Everybody makes it through safely, backwards, but safely. And everybody crosses the finish line again. That's 2 wins in a row for Kenny, the Kenny car. Back row, Scion gets squirrely coming down the pipeline. And again, everybody finishes. That Scion throwing in a block at that last minute across the finish line. And we're off. And the BMW takes charge down in the Calamity Corner. Oh! Bastard, you killed Kenny. The Kenny car is down. Kenny is down. Well, 1 DNF out of all that action. Not too bad. BMW takes the lead points for that group. Moving right along with the racing action, Euro-Mania Series. And here we go. I lost track of the cars there. That Porsche Cayman was in first place all the way down into the Valley Drive, but that McLaren P1 had a nice overtake in that corner. Sorry that I missed the action there for you. Camera work. I got the Alfa Romeo in the lead, and it takes first over the McLaren, and the other two, the Cayman and the McLaren, came in really super close. Look at how tight these cars are racing tonight. Good race by these drivers. Alright, here we go. The McLaren up front in the pole position, followed by the other McLaren. And they're tag teaming up with the P1, got the jump on the F1 to take first place, and we got the Porsche Cayman upside down on the Valley Boulevard. And we're going into our last heat for this group. We got the P1 in the pole position, going into the pipeline and leading that other McLaren down the way. The Porsche is backwards. Oh, almost took second, but settles for third. Even backwards, that's pretty good. And that P1 is taking the lead for that group, the win out of that group for round one. Got a quick little channel break for you here. Like to shout out for my friends. My friend Rick over at Diecast Racing at Comet Tail Raceway. Had some really fun, exciting races over there. All kinds of good stuff going on. There's going to be a link to that channel in the description, so make sure you go over there and check them out. If you haven't been over there before, you will enjoy it. Leave your likes, comments, and subscribe to Rick's Diecast. Okay, here we go. Group 4, Heat 1, back in the action. And the Porsche leads the way down in front of that Bugatti. The Lotus Evija getting in a little trouble there and allowing that 2008 Lotus to get around it. And let's see where the Evija ended up, right over there by the GDM garage. And that was an Aston Martin, actually, that red car. I forget what I call it. Oh, I called it a Porsche. It's not a Porsche. It's the Aston Martin 177. Oh, my God. It was an Aston Martin 177. We got trucks down on the track below. And what happened to the Aston Martin? There it is, upside down, right next to that Mazda, and that was a hell of a smash. Came right off the road just at the beginning of the pipeline, smacked that truck all the way down to the service road next to the finish line. Got emergency crews now on the scene. They'll get that car flipped over and in the best shape they can to continue racing. And here we go, back to the top. And here we go, the 08 Lotus taking the lead and had the lead until it smashed into the sidewall, and it's going to be pushed all the way down the hill. That was nasty. The Bugatti takes the win. It was the only one actually to finish. Everybody else is pulled over and upside down. That was a harsh lap. Here we go. The Evija's got the advantage lane this time, starting in the pole position. Going down the pipeline, he's still got some sideways. Everybody's like he's getting sideways. And I know the track's been cleaned. It's been serviced, and everything. Everybody made it down across the line that time, so that's good news. The Evija takes first, and that Aston Martin takes second, but it was the Bugatti that ended up leading the pack at the end. And taking the most points for that round, that group. All right, here we go, Group 5. And we got Kane Stewart out in that Lamborghini, taking first place. And it ooh, there's our Jaguar sitting on its door. Alright, we got the Lotus Elise now in the pole position. And it's going to lead them down pipeline, followed strongly by Kane Stewart in that Lamborghini. They're going to finish first and second. And then we got the other Lamborghini finishing third, and the Jaguar was upside down in Calamity Corner. We got the Jag out in front, leading them down into Calamity Corner. Makes it through that time. Everybody else got sideways. The Lotus Elise makes it through, but hits the brake just before the finish. Ouch! And wow, what a crazy finish that was. You can see by the score right there. Back it up and pause it if you want. Or watch it again later. Now we got the black. I was going to say the black Lamborghini was in the lead, but it rolled over going through Calamity Corner, and it held up the Lotus Elise. And so we only had the Jag actually came in first those last two races. I wasn't paying attention. It crashed the first two times and took the last two wins. So not a bad comeback for that car and driver. Here we go. Final group of the night, Heat 1. And we got the Renault Sport out front, leading them down, gets sideways, followed by the Aston Martin Vulcan. And that looked like they were a train. They were just all hooked bumper to bumper. And that Porsche 911 GT was the one that took third. Or here we go down again. Oh my God, the Renault got shoved off the road, right off the track and over the cliff. There it is, laying up there right above me. And if it wasn't for that half-buried car, I'd probably be underneath that Renault right now. Emergency service quickly respond, but it's going to take the chopper, I believe, to get that Renault back up on its tires and back on the track. So we'll let them do that. And we'll get these other cars back up there and ready to race. There is your finishing score for that heat. Here we go. Everybody's good. Back up to the top. I'm surprised the driver in that Renault was able to continue after that. Oh, there we go with the Porsche going upside down out of Calamity Corner and sliding down the Valley Boulevard and right there next to the GDM garage. Fast racing action here tonight, round 1. Here we go, the Aston Martin Vulcans leading them down the pipeline through Calamity Corner. Looks like everybody else just got blocked off and held up right there. Nobody else came through. And so the Vulcan is going to take the lead in points for that group. Well, good driving by all. Congrats to the points leaders. You'll get pole position for round 2 in whatever groups you end up in. And there are your final tallies for round 1. Our big point score going to that Alpha, or not the Alpha, sorry, the McLaren P1. And that is driven, I don't want to say her name wrong, Princess Sparkle, there we go, from Team Raven Customs. had the high score for round 1. Congratulations on that. Congratulations to all the drivers for surviving round 1. Points accumulate, and so round 2 will be coming up for you pretty soon. Until then, keep your roof to the sun. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all the drivers that signed up for this event. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there on the roads, and aloha.